Men of Distinction, located here at Halifax Community College, is an initiative that was spearheaded by the North Carolina State Legislature to address the problems to remediate the problems of the lack of males in higher education, particularly those of African American males. It was therefore spearheaded to appropriate funds to certain institutions to help bring about programs that would aid in the education, the retention, and of course the matriculation and graduation of African American males. And so therefore here at Halifax College on August the 16th, 2007, Men of Distinction was born, and you are our fruit. Also, it is not only a statewide initiative, it is also a national initiative to help get African American males as well as other males into the higher education sector, to help us get in, to be educated, to be retained in school, and of course to graduate from school. Our president is our founder, rather, is Mr. Eugene Brown, who is to my left, and of course your right. He has done a wonderful job in this program by instituting different activities for the men to get involved. It's not all academics, but academics basically is the main focus of the Men of Distinction. But we have different outings, we went to the football game in North Carolina Central University for their two of the social activities that we were involved in. But there's also a work side to it. We attended just this past April, the 7th to the 9th, we attended a conference in Durham, North Carolina, the Minority Male Mentoring Conference. And of course, I believe the men who were attending to that program from this school and others could tell you that they had a wonderful time and received a lot of valuable information. And so hopefully, as those who are graduating seniors would join in the male mentoring or the men of distinction ranks. So without further ado, we would go forward with our program. At this time, I'd like to call Mr. James Davis IV to come and do our invocation. Following him will be Reverend William Evans, who will do our scripture reading, and then we will have the welcome by our own president of this fine institution, Halifax Community College, Dr. Irvin Griffin Sr. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'd like everyone to stand and pray. Everyone bow your heads, close your eyes. Lord, we thank you for being in our presence today, Lord. Thank you for bringing all these young, gifted men in our presence. We thank you for all the keynote speakers blessing us with their grace to be here today, because they didn't have to be here. Lord, we thank you. We just want you to bless and be in our presence and bless every one of these young men in here with something to take home and keep in their spirits. Lord, allow this day to go smoothly with no interruptions, no problems. Allow the devil to get out of here and your grace just be amongst us throughout this men's conference. These are all things we pray in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen.
Our scripture reading, Joshua, the first chapter, 7 to the 9th verses. Only be thou strong and very courageous, that thou mayest observe to do according to all the law which Moses my servant commanded thee. Turn not from it to the right hand or to the left, that thou mayest prosper wheresoever thou goest. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that they may observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, thou shalt have good success. Have not I commanded thee? Be strong and of good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. For the Lord thy God is with thee whithersoever thou goest. Joshua 1, 7.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I want to welcome you to Halifax
College on behalf of our trustees, our students, faculty, and staff to our first men-to-men conference, Developing Men of Distinction, Recapturing Male Leaders. The first thing I want to do, I want to just thank all of you for showing up. Thank you so much. This program, as many of you well know, males in particular, and African American males, we don't have the best image in the world. We have a lot of baggage that we carry, whether it's right or not. That's the reality. And what we want to do today, the first thing I would want all of you to do is just please relax a little bit. Everybody's a little stiff over here. We're not going to do anything to anybody, but we do want to have a great discussion. And that's why, if you see the microphones, we want to have some interaction between probably different people with different ideas. And I want to give you a few baseline things that we're going to abide. Regardless of what your opinion is, you have a right to just say it here. And we want you to hear your opinion. And the second thing is that even if we don't agree with it, we don't want a lot of hissing and booing, because we're here to learn from each other. And we're here to see there's going to be some different points of views. And so that's basically what we're here for. And I want to also thank our partners from Halifax, Northampton, Weldon, Roanoke Rapids School District. I see some of the principals here, and I really do appreciate your coming out and being with us today. We have a full day for you, and I think it's going to be a good day. And a lot of this could not happen if it was not for the foresight of those who were in charge before us. And at this point, I'm going to bring up one of our advocates for minority males and for this district. I want you, Senator Jones, would you please come up at this point? This is our senator from this district. Please welcome Senator Jones. You can do better than that. This is the senator for this district.
Good morning. I'm glad to be with you this morning here at Halifax Community College. There is an old group used to be called Boys to Men. They grew up. We are all here today, men to men. I am so pleased to have appropriated some monies that the General Assembly have for this opportunity for you to be here today. But again, it's not about all of you, it's about what the future looks like. This young man right here, who evidently goes to church on Sunday and to a place of worship, and he knows what his God is all about. We all got here because of someone higher and greater than what we are. So we must always remember that we have someone to answer to. That's a higher power. I got here not because I did all the right things, but I know when to turn and go the other way. There's a thing called a call and an uncalled. You can keep on until you're called, and then your life is destroyed. This morning, I wish I could stay with you for a while this morning, but I have to leave and go to a place in Raleigh, what we call it North Carolina General Assembly. I got to go by and talk about building a $100 million prison. The other committee I'm on this morning, I got to go by and talk about domestic violence. Why are we beating on our women out here? Why? Is it something you've seen when you came about? Now, we got to go and talk about that this morning. So we got to go and build a prison for those folks who don't get the message. We talk about how many black men we have in prisons. This is what this is about today. We don't want you there. We want you to be a role model. Let everyone know that you're from Halifax County. This is where it's all started. This is where we're going to continue from here. I'm just so pleased to be with you this morning, and I wouldn't expect to say anything this morning, but again, when I visit youth development centers that we're building. And it costs you somewhere in the neighborhood of about $95,000 a year to keep a young man at a youth, a YDC, what we call them. Where they tell you to get up in the morning, tell you where to go, where to eat, and so forth. And I guess when we commit crimes out here, and we do not have that freedom, then we ask, why did I ever get to this point? Because of peer pressure. Peer pressure is something that is the greatest evil that we can possibly do. That's when we can't think for ourselves, but we want to be accepted. And some acceptance come in the form of games. And I tell you right now, very seldom do you see an older person, my age, in a game. It's a fashion, it's a fad, it's a trend. And later in life, you find out that there is not going to be a job for you there. Again, I say, I am so pleased to be with you today. Please, and I'm going to get kind of low right now, so this is not something you don't, I tell everyone that a buzzer, what those things are. No matter, you always have to on roadkill. But you can never sneak up on a buzzer because he's never so busy eating that he doesn't see you coming. You try it sometime when you get your license. Try to sneak up on one. But you know what you don't ever see? You never see baby buzzers. You always see the big ones. I always wonder where the little ones at. The little ones are up in the tree, watching mom and dad work. They're learning. They know why that roadkill was there and how it came about. Something wasn't paying attention. Something stepped out in front of a car, and the end was tragic. So it was his job to clean it up. That's why you don't see little ones, because you learn from the old ones. You'll have some older folks in here today talking to you. So please, listen. You've got nothing else to do in your life but listen. And I'll close by saying this. All the things I've done in my life, it was not for me. A lot of it was for my mother, to make her proud. She dropped out when I was due to have me. So the way I rewarded her, trying to make something out of my life. And the only thing she ever did in her life was to brag on her son, which was something that, none of us, and it's very cheap to do. It's nothing that you can't do in life, but to make your parents proud of you, to be the greatest person that you can possibly be. If I had to do it all over again, I'm looking at you right now. I would do different things in my life. I'm probably not be the state senator today. But again, I did not come to give you a sermon today. I'm just so glad to be with you. But please, don't let my work today by building prisons. I'll talk about domestic violence. Be a part of yours. I thank you so much. You enjoy your day.
We also want you to network with people that you do not know, ask questions. And again, I'm going to say relax and enjoy the conference and have a good day. We will now have the men of distinction played by our founder, who will lead Eugene Brown. Eugene? Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Oh, good morning. Good morning. How y'all doing this morning? I tell you, man, it's a great opportunity to stand before you today. My heart is full of joy. It's just so good to see you, man. That we're here as one. My name is Eugene Brown. I'm the counselor here at Halifax Community College. And here at Halifax Community College, we have a vision. We have a vision of making a movement from HCC to the high school, to the middle school, and also to the elementary school. Okay? We want to put a support group in all the schools. Okay? We want to have some leadership from our counselors, our teachers, our teachers assistants, we want to reach out to you all because you are somebody. You are somebody. Matter of fact, before we say the pledge, I want to ask everybody to stand up. Everybody stand up. Everybody stand up. I want you to look at your neighbor, and I want you to mean this from the bottom of your heart. Look at your neighbor, and I want you to repeat after me. Look at your neighbor, repeat after me. Grab your neighbor's hand. Grab your neighbor's hand. All right? And I want you to repeat after me. Repeat after me. I am. That's not good enough. I am. Somebody. I am. Somebody. You may not be me. And I may not be you. But for one thing that I know, I am somebody. Believe that. Whoop, there it is. All right. I just want to let you all know. I want to let you all know that you are somebody. Everybody in here, you are somebody. You will become someone one day. You will become leaders. You will become teachers, entrepreneurs, counselors, community service leaders. You are somebody. And do not allow anyone to tell you anything different. I'm serious. If you have problems, you ask for help. If you have questions, you ask for answers. If you're facing adversity, if you're facing problems, you go to your teachers. You go to your mentors. You're not trying to fight the battle on your own. Because you deserve that, man. Because you are somebody. Now, I want to ask everybody to stand up again. And we're going to do our pledge, that distinction pledge. The pledge is in the book. All right? Look in the back of the book. All the way at the back. Last page. All right. Ready? We, the men of distinction, pledge to conduct ourselves in a manner to be replicated. We will abide by the code of ethics set before us as men of distinction. We pledge to remain drug-free and abreast of our studies and attend all classes. We will dress in a distinguished manner. We pledge to respect all people at HCC and throughout our community. We will acknowledge all of those in our community with appropriate freedom. Others will recognize that we are truly men of distinction by the way we present ourselves as students, citizens, as men. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your cooperation in that effort to reciting the words, the pledge for the men of distinction. I have you to know those are not just mere words that you are reciting, but that is the code of honor that we live by as men of distinction. No, we're not perfect, but we're yet becoming. It gives me great privilege and pleasure, of course, to introduce to you
Monty Hickman. I refer to him as the brains behind the operation here with the men of distinction. He is with the central office in Raleigh. And at this time, Mr. Monty Hickman will come to us in his own way. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. If you would, please, for 1 second, stand up. I know you're tired of going up and down. You'll be all right. I know you're tired. You'll be okay. Do me a favor. Take your T-shirt and put it on. Put it on. Take your jacket off. Take your hood off. Put your T-shirt off. Hey, I'm mad at you all. I got all credit this morning. You know, you calm down. Put on the T-shirt. You'll be okay. t-shirt, please raise your hand. Someone will get you one.
Let me try this.
And I'm going to tell you now, if there's a senator down front that has to put on a t-shirt, we need to put the t-shirt on. I'm going to say that right now. We need 2 more t-shirts on. Oh, they're going to get something for you right now. So just keep your hand raised. Thank you. You can sit down now. Appreciate it. For those of you who don't have a t-shirt, they'll get one to you. And if anyone who knows me and learns my personality, they'll tell you I refuse to stand behind a podium. I just refuse to. I like to be comfortable. But the first I want to say is welcome and greetings from the North Carolina Community College System Office. I am Monty K. Hickman. I am the official title as Associate Director of Financial Aid for the Community College System. Unofficially, I am also the coordinator of the Minority Male Mentoring Programs. So all of the colleges that receive funding from the state or grants through the Community College System Office, it goes through me. And so I have the pleasure of times going out and saying hello and speaking at engagements like this. And I'll tell you right now, this is a beautiful sight. This is something you do not see very often. You see a room full of young men. Stats say that usually young men are not successful, especially men of color. That usually it's the females, thank you very much. Usually it's the females who are successful in education. In the community college system, in 2003, we did a study and we saw that within the system, in our community colleges, minority males, those of Black, Latino, Asian, usually were not being successful. And our graduation rate was at an all-time low. And so my predecessor, Pam Little, wrote a grant to the Governor's Crime Commission, and she received funding to start 6 pilot programs. Within those programs, the colleges were to address retention rates, graduation rates, and drug abuse. And so over the next 4 years, the program started and they took off, and the young men were getting accolades, and we had a couple of conferences to talk about best practices, and we wanted to say, okay, now it's time to step it up a little bit. And within those 4 years, the programs evolved. They evolved into programs of leadership, professional development, and individualism. And so what we did is we went to the General Assembly. And if you would, please get a senator a hand if you could. Because through his actions and other advocates, they gave us $475,000 to begin 15 new programs, which is how the Men of Distinction became into existence. And so we gave 15 new colleges money to start 15 new programs. And instead of focusing on substance abuse and all the negative things they say happen in men of color lives, we wanted to focus on the positives. Leadership, professional development, because we knew that although the media said that you're at the bottom of every study, negative study at the top, the bottom of every study and the top of every negative study, there were more to you than that. And so what we wanted to do is not address just substance abuse, but those background issues that affect minority males. Abandonment issues. Many of us suffer from our father leaving the home. Many of us have issues when it comes to study. Some of us don't understand the teacher. Some of us are from low-income housing. So we know that if you're hungry, you're not going to learn in school. If you have to support your family, you're not going to do well in school. So we want to address those issues. And so what the program did is they focused on those issues and made young men feel whole about themselves. And I say I'm very proud to be here today, and I love the sight of all these males, minority or white, all together. I love it. It's a beautiful sight. And it's the second time I felt like this. I actually had the opportunity to feel like this a few weeks ago when I had my conference, when all of the schools came together and all people from all over the United States and all over the state, not just educators, but people from health and human services, people from faith-based and community-based organizations came together and we created a strategic action plan. It was a beautiful sight because there were so many young men walking around in shirt ties and suits, and that's something that we really don't see very often. And so that's why today I feel I'm just elated to see you all, because what it tells me is that now you're taking a stake in your future. And whereas one thing they say that we don't do, they say that we're lazy. They say we're usually at the bottom of the barrel. We usually rather play video games than learn. But since you're here today, that tells me that you really do have a stake in your future, and you say that's not the case. So I would like again to welcome you from the North Carolina Community College System Office and say, if you need anything, please let me know, and I'll try my best to give it to you, okay? Thank you.
We have another one of our advocates in the legislature with us. I just want to bring up Representative Michael Ray from Northampton County. Thank you for being here.
Good morning to each and every one of you. Good morning. Today is a blessed day for all of us to be here in life in general. This is what life's about, folks. Ed is my senator also, and I'm in the state house. And we both have different titles, but the bottom line is when we push that green button or red button, we represent all Carolinians, from the west to the east, from the coast to the mountains, which is 9 million North Carolinians, and we're all one group. But this is what life's about also, again, about us putting money into programs that make a difference in life. You are our future. Ed is a little bit older than I am, but I always learn things from people like Ed and other people that are older than I am. That buzzer, that's a pretty good buzzer. It's true. But I'm going to tell you some experiences. I have twin boys, 10 years old, and they will be 11 next week. I was in Washington, D.C. last week at a conference, and I was up there with Congressman Butterfield giving him a fit about the gas prices and gas taxes. But in token, I didn't get home about 12:30 Saturday morning, and so my kids went with my father to a function, and my kids drew the numbers with another kid. And this particular guy called me yesterday, and he said, I just wanted to call you today to tell you how happy your kids were. They were at a function, and this little kid was smaller than they were, and he kept wanting to draw all the numbers. And they stepped back and let that kid draw a lot of the numbers. So that really meant a lot to me, because I'm molding my kids, and my wife and I are married, we're together, and we're molding our kids every day. So it's about mentoring, whether you have parents at home, whether you have grandparents, or whether you have people in church. It's about being good public citizens. Make a difference in life. Because you need a good education, because that education follows you the rest of your life. I mean, you cut your finger off, yes, somebody else will hate it, but it'll hurt you the rest of your life. And stay on the right road, because you are a future. It's like Senator Jones talked about a kid in a program, like if they get in trouble, $95,000. After 18, you go to the big house. That's $26,000 a year plus. If you're in school, it's $5,600. So North Carolina wants to get the most bang for their buck. They want you to make a difference. They want you to stay in school and be prosperous citizens. So God bless each and every one of you. And thank you for taking time to come. I know you got out of school to come. But hopefully something will touch your life and make a difference and keep you on the right road. And thank you for the college here being a role model of our community and supporting this program and bringing our leaders and our adults here to participate, try to make a difference. God bless each and every one of you. Thank
You know a little bit about us. I think we have a number of partners that brought people from different schools. Would the principals, would you just come up and introduce your group? I know you brought it right here. If you brought a group, just come up and let us know who's here so we know who's in the house.
Take this opportunity to say good morning to everyone. We can do better than that. Good morning. I bring you greetings from the Scarlet Lake, North Carolina area. I'm going to ask my young men to please stand. Broadway Middle School. And we are more than delighted to be with you this morning.
My name is Nick Dixon, and I'm an instructor at Kid Point High School. And I brought 20 distinguished gentlemen here for this big event. They would please stand there for the row.
Good morning. I'm Mel Silver from Wilmar David Middle School, and I arranged try to get some of the young men to come out with us. So we did manage to get 36 of our young men to come out, and I would appreciate it if you would stand and let everybody see who you are. Oh, this is a colleague of mine right here, Ronald Jackson.
Hi, everybody. My name is Ronald Jackson, also with Wilmar David.
Good morning. My name is Albert Bennett. I'm with Gwinnett County High School West. Please stand over to my left, your right.
Good morning. My name is James Lynch, and I'm from Weldon City Schools. And here with us today is Weldon STEM Academy students and Weldon High School. Guys, please stand.
My name is Larry Edwards, and we're from Southeast Halifax High School, home of the Mighty Trojans. We brought 43 young men here today. Please stand.
I know we have a number of other visitors who might be here that we don't know. I know our representatives and everybody, but we have any other?
We do have someone else that's on Southeast Campus, Halifax County School of Economics. Please stand.
Do we have any other groups or visitors that are here? Northwest. Anybody else that haven't been introduced?
I'm Reverend James McNair, I'm assistant pastor at Chapel Road with the Baptist Church in Harrisburg. And even though I'm not a part of the school, I do have some folk here from Chapel Road. I didn't bring them, but the principal brought them. David. All right.
Well, guys, I'm Dean Weldon, and I represent independent business ownership, and we teach entrepreneurs, and we out here meeting you and young guys like to give you another opportunity and like, just take in what you can, and you'll meet me out there on the road, okay?
Good morning. My name is Joey Johnson, and we Council Guys here from National Community College.
First of all, good morning, and this is a wonderful sight, and I salute each one of you here today. I am Larry Lovejoy, and I'm from Wilson, North Carolina.
Good morning. My name is Frank Jones. I'm an attorney here in Halifax County, town of Halifax. I'm glad to be here with you guys. I think you're doing a great thing today. Thank you.
This all of us to solve the problem. Now, one of our former deans and faculty members here.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Weldon Perry. I spent 31 years on this campus here as a math instructor and the evening program. And good morning, Dr. Griffin again.
We're both tech graduates. Good morning. My name is Ricky Clay. I'm the security at Halifax Community College. I have a son from Northampton East. I brought here this morning. I'm proud.
Good morning. My name is Brian Hopkins. I'm an ABE instructor here at Halifax Community College. We have a few young guys that attended this morning. If you will, would you please stand? Also, I would like to say it's real good to see all of you all, Southeast, Weldon, Northwest. I know a few of you all are coaching middle school and high school, so I said welcome.
Good morning. My name is Orlando Lewis, and I'm in from Chicago, Illinois, with National Lewis University. And this is just a wonderful sight to see this happen today here on the campus of Halifax Community College. I'd like to say that each and every one in here, I'd like for everyone to get mad today. And I said mad today. And that's to have and instill within each and every one of you the motivation, the attitude, and determination that's made to make sure that you achieve your goals and to keep pushing forward. So as we're going forth today, get mad. Have that motivation, attitude, determination that no one or nothing can stop you or turn you around.
Now, we've heard a lot, we're going to do ahead of time. We've heard a lot from the adults. Now, does any of the students have any comments they want to introduce themselves? Have anything that you want to say? Presidents of student governments? Any student leaders out there? Male student leaders? National Honor Society members? Ex-football players? Troy Benson is in the house, right? Troy is. But never let it be said that nobody gave you the opportunity so you can speak. Come on. Come on over. You want to? Come on. Either way. I'm going to give you an opportunity to say what you need to say.
Good morning again. I'm Latif Darden, I'm the president of Student Government Association here with Southeast Halifax. One piece of advice for you to do, just dream big, and if you reach high, you will fall among the stars, but never give up. Right?
Anybody else?
Good morning, everybody. My name is Gregory Ash. I'm the Social and Arts Program here. I joined the men of the station basically because it's a movement basically about to take over. To be honest, that's how it is. A lot of nervous, but it's a good thing.
Good morning, everybody. What's up? Check this out. My name is Bill Dwayne Bunch. I'm here with Southeast Student College, and someday I know that all of us become big, strong men and make good life for ourselves. Alright, so just remember my name, I'll catch y'all. Thank you.
I'm in the Associated Arts Program. I come here full-time, and I work at Walmart full-time, like 10 to 7, and then I got to come straight here from like 8 to like 3. only get very little sleep, but to get what you want to get, you got to push it. You got to do what you got to do to get there. Because ain't nobody going to sit there and give it to you. So you got to push it. You got to do whatever it takes to get there. You can't let nobody just, like, tell you something, like, that's going to cripple you. Like, they'll tell you, like, you're doing good, and then you ain't. You really ain't. You got to sit there and research your work, research all your homework, make sure it's done. Because if you don't make sure it's done, then, you know what I'm saying, teacher's going to let you know what's good, you know. But I ain't perfect. I know I ain't, because there's a lot of other people that's sitting there working and going to school too. But I'm just using me for an example, you know. And whatever you have to do, just go ahead and do it, you know what I'm saying. Don't be a slow leak on it. I ain't gonna talk y'all to death, because I know they got their own to say something, so I'm gonna let Dr. Griffin get it.
Hey everybody, I'm 6th grade student of Weldon Middle School, and we had to have somebody come up.
Anybody else?
One more, we're going to get away from here. Piggyback what Marlon was saying, yeah, you got to do what you got to do in life. And like Mr. Brown said, don't be afraid to ask for help. Because I'm going to tell you, this movement of distinction has meant a lot to me. A lot of days when I don't feel like I got the drive or motivation, I go holler at some of my boys who win the distinction, and we talk, we kick, and we get motivation from each other. So don't be too prideful. Don't act like you can't ask for help, because everybody needs a little help. So get that help when you need it.
We're gonna. We got 2 more. Okay. I want to make sure everybody has an opportunity. These are the last 2. Is anybody else? You better come now. You better come on now. All right. All right. If you're gonna say something now, never let it be said that you didn't have the opportunity. All right.
Good morning to everybody. My name is DeMarcus Parker. I'm from Kilbride High, and I also am a part of the honor council there at Kilbride High. My former was a parliamentarian of the student government, and also this summer I have been awarded the opportunity to go to Thailand.
I'm from Kilbride High. Also, I'm a parliamentarian on the council and the student government. I also have been awarded scholarship to go to Thailand. But we go here at Kilbride High, we go to school from 8 to 5. And we start the school for extra help, whatever we need, and whatever that we feel that we want in life, we get it. My name is Herman Lewis. I'm from my Davidson. They were scared, so I came.
Yo, the name OJ Brown, senior well had. I just want to detail out that shit. Good morning. My name is Smith, taking up the WINS program out here. I'm a single parent. I raised a little girl by myself. And in order to succeed, you got to study others. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Marlon. I'm 17 years old. I'm here at County High School on behalf of Eric. I just like to say I'm happy.
Okay, listen, brothers, it's going to be interactive. So if you have questions after the speakers, there are 2 microphones that are going to be in the aisle. Please line up, ask your questions, and there is no question that's out of that. So we need to talk. You have some frank questions that you want to answer from some of the speakers. Please go ahead and ask those questions. We'll try to answer them in an equally frank manner and tell you the truth about, as opposed to what you think life is going to be about, what it's really about. But we do want to have an interaction back and forth, and we want to talk with you, and we want you to talk to us because there are a lot of things that we don't understand. And you can help us understand this generation a lot better. So I think, let's get the brothers that came up and talked tonight.
Thank you so much for those who gave the comments. Before I bring forth just the portraits, I'd like to thank Senator Jones for coming, and also thank you to Representative Michael Ray. Also, I'd like to make mention to the principals and others who are interested. We do have Mr. Prince Evans who's doing our video for today. They're available for a nominal fee, so please see Mr. Prince Edwards for a copy of the video. Thank you very kindly. At this time, we'd like to call for Mr. Justin Fortress, who's going to do a poem in honor of men of distinction, and then Mr. Calvin Richardson, who will introduce our first keynote speaker, Mr. Troy Vincent. Thank you.
Hello, good morning. I'm Justin Fortress. I majored in computer technology here at HCC, Halifax Community College, and this is my second semester. This is the poem I did for the men of distinction. Here we are, the MOD, raising the bar for society, men of distinction, on a mission, setting an example, respecting all persons, breaking shields of introversion, helping people become who they were meant to be, someone of value to themselves and community, in a culture that distorts masculinity by portraying a man as something I personally don't want to be. Enter MOD right on cue, showing the world that men can be nurturers too, helping get past extreme limitations. Who are we not to succeed? All we need is determination. For role models seem on the verge of extinction, brace yourself for men of distinction.
Mr. Calvin Richardson. While he's coming, one of our members from Men of Distinction, Mr. Peter McAlaria, he's in the hospital. So please, keep him in your prayers and thoughts. Mr. Peter McAlaria is in the hospital. He's a member of the Men of Distinction group. Thank you.
Good morning. Where my football players at? My football players at, make some noise. My name is Calvin Richardson. I'm a student here at Halifax Community College and also a member of the Men of Distinction. It is truly an honor to stand here today and introduce to you a great and successful role model, Mr. Troy Vincent. Mr. Vincent is a 5-time All-Pro selection. He currently ranks 5th overall among active players with 47 regular season interceptions and 4 in the postseason. He played for the Miami Dolphins, Philadelphia Eagles, Buffalo Bills, and Washington Redskins. He started in 204 of his 207 career games and recorded 854 career tackles. In addition to being a leader on the field, Vincent was a leader for NFL players in his role as the past president on the NFL Players Association from 2004 to 2008. As an undergraduate at the University of Wisconsin, Vincent studied urban and regional planning. He earned his Bachelor of Arts degree in Liberal Arts from Thomas Edison State College. He has successfully completed 4 different continuing education programs through the Stanford University Graduate Program, Wharton Business School, Kellogg School of Management, and Harvard School of Business. Mr. Vincent's business acumen extends far beyond the NFL. He owns all or part of several successful ventures. He has been recognized as a born leader with true entrepreneurial spirit. Believing that community begins at home, in December 2002, Mr. Vincent and his wife Thomas founded Love Like Neighbor Community Development and Opportunity Corporation, which provides comprehensive community development to the Mercer County of New Jersey. Housing initiatives, economic development, and structural recreation and educational programs are the cornerstones of the nonprofit agency that has brought enhancement to the lives of area children and families. Since its inception, Love Like Neighbor has touched more than 45,000 children through its programs and outreach. In addition to the numerous athletic awards, Mr. Vincent has been the recipient of the number of community awards that includes being honored by the Congressional Black Caucus at the annual Urban Educational Leadership Awards reception. A dedicated family man, Mr. Vincent resides in Northern Virginia with his wife Tommy and their 5 children. Now, as I may ask you all stand and give a round of applause to this great man, this great leader, and most of all, this great man of God, Mr. Troy Vincent.
Good morning. Good morning. I am so happy to be here. Mr. Brown, I thank you for your numerous text messages, numerous emails, wondering if I would make sure that I came. When I gave you my word a month ago, 2 months ago, you gotta live by your word. When I walked into the room, really, quite frankly, wasn't really sure what I was going to get into. So I'd like to come a little bit early just to get a feel, to check out the spirit of the room, the people that I'm dealing with, the young men, whom I think God has given me a tremendous purpose to reach out to globally, not just here in the United States, but globally. So I don't take it lightly when I have the opportunity to speak to someone's child, when I have the opportunity to sow a seed in somebody's life. There may be one today that their life may be changed. I'm going to give you a little history of myself. My family, originally from here, up in Henrico, up on the lake up here. Great-great-grandfather, Solomon Vincent, 1850. The Vincent family, we started out here in this local area. Some of you all may know Purnell. He's, I guess, the sheriff. Warden, we call him Purnell. My cousin Warden. So my grandfather, after World War II, back in 1947, moved up to Trenton, New Jersey. That's where I was born and raised. I was raised by a single parent, mom, and my grandmother and grandfather were the ones who actually raised me. My mom was 14 years old when she had me. And I want to make sure that's clear, because a lot of times we as young men growing up in a single family home, maybe father's obviously not there, father may be incarcerated, at the end of the day he's not there, we like to use it as an excuse for not succeeding. That's a lame excuse. My grandparents raised me with morals and values. Played 1 year high school football because I had to. I wouldn't stay with a family that there was a gentleman who worked for, at the time, he's now deceased. He was an engineer for Johnson & Johnson, and would not allow me and his son to come home when school ended. He thought that it was important that we participate in every school activity. Now, I thought growing up in Philadelphia that I was going to be the next Julius Herbert, a gentleman by the name of Dr. J. He was a great basketball player for the 76ers. I thought that I was going to be the next Dr. J. Too short. Just too short, didn't shoot well enough. Since I've been here, I've heard the word dream. Dream. We all have dreams. He told me to go out. Didn't want to play. The only football I ever played was out in the parking lot. Concrete, no grass where I grew up in the Northeast. There's no grass. It's bottles, it's glasses, and it's cars. So end zone to end zone was you ran into that car, that was a touchdown. You hit a car on the side, you were out of bounds. There's no such thing as you tackle on concrete, gravel. We should take cans, Coke cans, crush them. And those would be like, that one would be a center because you didn't have 11 people. So you just did what you had to do. Long story short, went and played 1 year high school football. It's important because when God has a plan for your life, it's for you. Doesn't matter what anybody says to you. What your circumstances are, if it's for you, it's for you. I played 1 year high school football. Up until then, it was basketball and track. Earned a scholarship, played at the University of Wisconsin under Coach Barry Alvarez for 4 years. Was an All-American, was drafted by the Miami Dolphins. I was the 7th pick overall. Spent 4 years in Miami, became a free agent. Most people know me from my Philadelphia days when I was an Eagle. Played with a great secondary, many say it's the greatest secondary that ever played in the National Football League. We were together for 8 years. Myself, most of y'all guys know Brian Dawkins. I mean, if you play football, you know Brian Dawkins. Tremendous safety, one of the greatest football players I've ever seen and actually played with. And then there was another gentleman by the name of Bobby Taylor. Great defensive back corner with the University of Notre Dame. And then another gentleman he was our third corner. How many here know about the Green Bay Packers? Know that guy who wears those dreadlocks, those long Al Harris? He was our third corner. We had no backups. It was the 4 of us, and we got it done. Week in and week out. Didn't have to score no points. At that time, Donovan McNabb was a young pup. We just said, David Akers, you need to get us 3 field goals. We was gonna put in work every Sunday or Monday. Didn't matter. Didn't matter who came to the stadium. From Terrell Owens used to use him like a puppy dog. Used to just crush him. So played 8 years in Philadelphia, then became a free agent again, went to Buffalo, played 3 years in Buffalo, then I finished my career here in Washington. Married, 5 children. I have a daughter that's a junior in college at Wisconsin now, studying political science. Troy Jr. is 12. So when I come in here, I think about Troy. And I got an older daughter, that's one thing. Now I got my little man coming up. Grew up, first thing I ever said, I'll never, ever do what my dad did to me. He left when I was 1. Never seen me. I said, if I ever had a child, I'm going to be responsible for that child. When I got married, divorce, not an option. The text I read, the Bible, not an option. You make it work. I'm going to talk about Troy. I'm going to stay on Troy because I think it relates to a lot of you all. Today, I have a son who was born into professional sports. Don't know nothing but the life that we live. And what is that life that we live? I played 15 years. Troy's 12. So all he knows is the bright lights. Don't know what it's like to live in a box. Don't know what it's like to wake up in an apartment and your mama and her friends at the countertop in the kitchen smoking crack. Don't know what that's like to visit who they say was your dad, his brother, and his grandfather in prison. Did that all my life. Taking these pictures, when you go there, all my life. Every time I walked out, I never said never, because Grandpa always said this, whenever you say never, you're one moment from it. I just said, I don't want to be that. I don't want to walk around running from the police every time I hear it. So it's back to responsibility. Troy thinks, we had this discussion this morning on my drive down here. I called him, did you get up? Did you go help your brother? Make sure you walk the dogs. Your mom just took your other brother to school. You might have to change the baby diapers. So this is my 12-year-old. We're working out 3 times right now we're working out because we're going to earn us a scholarship. I got one thing in mind. He don't need to be a pro. The chances of him becoming a professional athlete is slim. Better chance of being struck by lightning, hit by a car. I know one thing. You're going to get this education, and you're going to be a good man. He believes that he's the best thing since sliced bread. Now here's the kid. Let's take this. He's been growing up playing his father on the video game. He's playing PlayStation. You guys play Madden? Yeah. In my time, I was a bad dude. I can say that now. I was a bad dude. Now I got my son who actually thinks that he's better. He's 12, and he actually thinks that he's better. But guess what? That's what I tell him. When I hung up the cleats, it was all about him. Because he's going to be better. He's going to be more educated. He's going to be smarter. He's going to be bigger. And he's going to be faster. And he's going to know the game. We're reading a book right now called The $40 Million Slaves. He's in the 6th grade. $40 Million Slaves. Young men, you need to get that book. Author by the name of Will Rowe. And I want him, and this is important for you all, to understand the responsibility that he has, first, as a child of God, to himself, yourself, two, to this family, that goes back to Solomon Vincent, and three, his community. His community are people that look just like him, not a racist. Love all people. I was born this, and ain't leaving. We live in a rural area, farms. Not many people that look like him. Guess what? You got a responsibility. When you leave this house, you're going to respect where you come from. When you leave this house, he's responsible for you, and you, for everything that he does. He hasn't met y'all, not one of you guys, but he's responsible for you. That's my son. You all have that same responsibility. We can't look at what somebody else did or didn't do. No, you ain't living off of my morals. Because when he turns 18 and go to college, you're out of my house. And you're not coming back when you finish school. That's the rules we play by. You ain't being 40 and 35 living in my house. You're going to go get you a job, you're going to work, and you're going to take care of your family. I'm going to track back. There was one young man that came up here and he said he worked at Walmart, I think. Am I correct? I heard some people giggle. It was important that I heard the giggle because I worked at Burger King and Pizza Hut. Flipping burgers, washing dishes. I wasn't cool. I wasn't a hustler. I didn't have to go. I didn't have all of that. I just had to go to school. Street lights flickered, I was running to the house. Grandma and Grandpa said dinner's at 5:30. Not in at 5:30, no need tonight. I bring that point up just because those same individuals that laugh and giggle because you're making an honest living. And when you do things right, it pays off. I understand we're in a hip-hop culture, what they say. Where the bling-bling is everything. Man, the bling-bling is nothing. That stuff comes and goes. Cars. You guys have seen the end result of what you read, what you see, what you read, and what you listen to on television. That's what you become. Materialistic things, I'm telling you firsthand, they don't make you happy. The young men that come to the National Football League, I've seen over 15 years. They come in. They all want what they believe was going to make them happy. Ends up being a life of destruction. One thing that I shared this with, I was just on the phone with Chad Johnson last week. You know, he's talking about all this stuff where he don't want to play and he don't want. Let me tell you something. Man, it's a tremendous opportunity to be in the National Football League. See, that $40 million slave book, it talked about the old athlete and the current athlete. That old athlete, he was responsible for everybody in this room. The current athlete, that's Chad. I'm not doing it. Making $8 million a year says, I don't want to play. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, Chad? But you got to be real with him. See, Chad's going to listen because Chad respects me. Because I handled him in my time. I did what I needed to do. Didn't say a word. Didn't have to be cool. Sunday at 1 o'clock between these 3 hours, I'm going to get you. Ain't no hiding. As we used to say, we came out that locker room, lock the gates. Lock the gates. But that was the mentality. I'm just sharing this because some of you all feeling what I'm saying. It's lock the gates. I got 3 hours to legally abuse you. All that running around being cute mess, man, we're going to line up. When that whistle blows, it's me and him. So I know he respected. The money he made that, did that, been there, done that. What I was trying to get across was, Chad, you got a tremendous opportunity. Because right now, you're thinking about yourself. You're not thinking about your teammates. You're not thinking about your family. And one of the most important things, you're not thinking about your community. See, selfish people, sometimes we use the word selfish. I always use the word pride. Because pride shows up in the text all the time. Prideful people. I know one thing. The word says this. Pride always comes before the fall. Always. So I share that to say, continue to keep your family, yourself, God first. But young man, keep doing what you're doing. They did that to me. Guess what? The same guys that mock me, I go visit them today. I go leave money on their books. I go send them a book. It may seem tough now because you don't have all the things that you think that you need to survive. Let me tell you something. Ain't nothing like driving down 95, my little Toyota pickup truck, my little tinted windows. I ain't got to worry about the cops will pull me over. I put my windows down. Might be, you're doing 72 and 65. I'm so happy to give them my registration, insurance, car, my driver's license. Why? Because I did it right. When I go up on that lake, got my little boat, my little jet ski, guess what? I did it right. I paid my taxes. My wife works. Cut my own lawn. I did it right. There's something about doing it right. It's just something about, and today is about, let's talk about sacrifices. Because all you all see on the video games, and this is the point I'm going to bring up about the dream. I talk to my son about this all the time. I got 3 boys. Somebody going to make it. Somebody got to take care of this. These wheels bad. But you just see the end results. When I say the end results, you just see the finished product. They never talk about the process. And everything that we do, they never talk about the process. What did it take? You know what it took? Troy, going home when it's time for you to go home. When you see the guys right there shooting dice, just take your basketball, just keep on going out. When they want to stay up late at night, get their little buzz on, everybody like smoke a little cheese, it don't hurt you. Okay? Every time you do that, you give me one more opportunity. And the way I was when I was growing up, that motivated me to say, if you think that this guy that drinks and get high gonna compete with me, you crazy. I couldn't wait till the next day. National Football League, same mentality. A guy that I know that likes to get his little buzz on, and you think that you actually gonna compete with me when I'm putting in this time and effort during the week, you gotta be kidding me. You should be offended when that happens. Young men, be responsible. Treat women and young ladies the way they should be treated. Not what you learn from watching television. Not what you learn from watching the video. Guess what? Imagine if that was your mom. That young lady that you think you're talking slick to. Imagine that was your mom. Imagine if that was your sister. And you know another young man was treated that way. How would you feel? You want to knuckle up, right? Treat women right. You can be the difference. Break the generational curses that some of us are so often trapped by. I talk to my son about that all the time. I got to give him something that I got from my grandfather. But I'm responsible for him. And that book, every night, he reads one chapter. Because the next night, we talk about that dinner. We ain't talking about who got locked up, when somebody coming home, who just got a baby. No, we talking about real issues at that table. It's your responsibility. Now tell me the difference between Will Chamberlain and Terrell Owens. Or Jackie Robinson was the first person I knew. Jackie was responsible for everybody. Jackie didn't do anything. Wouldn't sign a contract if he knew it affected him. Let me tell you something. Every day in our profession, somebody's doing something that they know is going to affect him. Can't be that way. That's the difference between the old and the new. And they purposely try to divide you because they know you're selfish. They know you're greedy. You live a life of greed. How do you change those things right now? Doing exactly what you're doing. Because there's somebody out here, as you all well know, same age, is not in school today. Sitting at home, waiting for you to come home. Just to hang out. But it starts with conferences and summits just like this. Because everyone's here is here to sow a seed in your life. The young man said, I'm no better. You're right, I am no better than anybody else. Man, I wear Dickies. I wear whatever they call it, white beaters. That's the term they use. You know, I'm just keeping it real. I eat oatmeal. I shop at Costco. I stay at this Walmart. When I come down here, me and my cousin, we stay at that store, looking for the bargain. I know most of y'all, when you thought about a professional athlete coming here, I know in your mind there's a stereotype. I see it every day. I fight the stereotype every day because we're all painted with the same brush. You guys are all painted with the same brush. Whatever you do affects everybody in this room. Every decision that I make affects everybody in National Football, good or bad. Pac-Man Jones. How many of you heard of Pac-Man Jones? Okay. Pat. Adam is his real name. I'm sitting down with Adam 2 years ago before the commissioner came down on him. He's coming in, and I meet with him. Call him up at the hotel. We were up in New York before he was about to go do his little hearing. And it was about, we had a 5-player advisory committee, is what we call it. He comes to me with his attorney. I call him and say, meet down the lobby, we'll go get a private room and let's talk before your hearing the next day. Well, he meets me in the lobby with an attorney. I'm working on his behalf. He comes to me with an attorney. So I said, okay, this picture is wrong. Now when he's coming in there, he's coming in like this. Okay, you get up in front of Roger Goodell tomorrow with that swagger, you told him what you want. Guess what? He got it too. He went up in there, blamed everybody else. It wasn't me. Why you want to, this is where I came from. Somebody wake that young man right up. Right here. Right here. Yep. Right here. There you go. Sit on up, brother. Wake up. This is real. It's real. These young men dying, man. But I want to give you Pac-Man because guess what? That's what you all see. That's the new image. When he came in that lobby, eventually I said, hey, I'm not going to talk. I don't need to talk to your attorney. I'm here to help you. This ain't got nothing to do with no legal stuff. I want to talk man to man with you. Do you want to play the game? Absolutely. What are you doing to stay on the field, Pat? Well, it's never with me, Pat. I'm looking at 15 different violations here. 15. We're only talking about 6 of them on television. You only heard about 6. I got 15. Pat, what should I tell the commissioner on your behalf? It was my boys. It was the group that I hung out with for excuse. Blaming everybody else. You know why Pat Man is out on the field now? Because he's still blaming everybody else. The commissioner ain't mine. You're responsible. You're responsible for your own actions. Choices, decisions, consequences. 3 words. If you don't remember any, choices, decisions, consequences. We all have. We all have choices. God has given us the ability to have choices. Every decision that you make, there's a consequence that comes behind it. Every decision. Do I eat this food? Well, they said it's bad for me. Okay, you know consciously that it's bad for you. If you make that decision, the choice, do I want to hang out? Do I need to go in the house? Choices, decisions, consequences. It exists with all of us. No matter where you are in life, what you want to do, we all have it. All 3. That's something in the NFL, on life skills, we talk about that every single day. Because it puts the accountability back on you. Puts it back on you. I want to make sure I have at least a half an hour for some questions. But the packaging thing, it keeps resonating in my spirit. Chad, resonating in my spirit. Why? Because I got a fat head. Y'all know what fat heads is, right? I got a fat head in my house. Of Chad Johnson. That's what my son, that's what he bought. That's what he wanted. He wanted a fat head, but he wanted one of Chad. So every time I hear Chad, so think about it. When I hear Chad mouth off, and Chad's a good dude. When I hear him mouth off and do some of the things that he's doing, the first thing that comes to my mind is this idiot is affecting my son. He's influencing my son. I'm just daddy to my boy. He has somebody else up on the wall. Brian Dawkins, best friend. Peyton Manning, very good friend. But Damian Thomason, very good friend. Donovan, over all the time. He has Chad Johnson on my wall. But I'm going to let my boy be a boy. So when I talk to Chad, I'm constantly telling Chad, you have to be accountable because you're affecting somebody's kid with your actions. But this is how we hold each other accountable. When you see something's wrong, man, tell it to me. You can't do that. That's wrong. That's wrong, baby. You can't do that. Somebody's being affected by that. Somebody's being affected by the decisions that you're making. Back to my kids. Back to little Troy again. He is gifted. He gifted. God gave him something. And I truly believe there's things that you can work on, and there's things that just God given. That's the truth. I never worked out when I played ball. You know, they have the training and all that, which is good. You got to do it. I knew my purpose in life, and God gave me exactly what I needed at that time. During every off season, I worked. I went back to school, and I worked. My wife worked, and I was making for a year. Not 400, not 4,000, not 400. Yeah, I was making it. I worked every off season. Never working out. And what they tell us is, this is your job. Nope. I've never let, and I didn't use the word never, I've never let football define who I am as a man. I play football. That's the football player. I'm sorry, man. I play football. And I correct people like that all the time, even to this day. But that's the football player. That's a stereotype. Yeah, I'm a football player here. I walk away. I'm a chicken. Excuse me? No. I play football. But the football player, basketball player, don't let sports define who you are. Don't let materialistic things define who you are. still valid. Education. Gotta have it. The only thing that can't take that away. Now I'm a young man. I came in, I went to the other office first, and the lady was like, you have a football player? I said, no, man, I'm retired, but I used to play football. And she said, retired? You look young. I said, I'm old in my business. 37 is old. So I watch young men come in, revolving door, year in and year out. And people say, well, why him? Why him? First of all, it was tremendous favor and grace. Tremendous favor. I'm going to wrap this one up, because I want to make sure I open some questions. I need to get back to these things. You all can get me back to it. This was the difference. At one time, when I first came in at 21, I was a good athlete. Young, fiery, fast, all that kind of stuff. When Don Shula, who used to be the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, tremendous legend in the game, way before you all started, he picked me up from the airport. This is what he said to me. Young man, and I know what he was getting at. He didn't have to say it. He said, Troy, he picked me up in a Crown Victoria. I remember it was a silver brown Crown Victoria car. And he said, Troy, your talent will only take you 2 years in this league. That's what he said. I said, you know what? I'm really about to do some things. And that's all he said. He never elaborated on it. He said, I've got 2 veterans that I want you to go and make sure you introduce yourself to when you get there. One was Dan Marino. Another one was a linebacker by the name of John Offerdahl. Caucasian linebacker. He didn't send me to Mark Duper, Mark Clayton, Irving Fryer, all of these guys that were on that roster at that time. He sent me to Danny and John Offerdahl. That's all I had to say to him. I went there, introduced myself. Going to my first meeting, John Offerdahl says this, where's your notebook? I'm like, I have a notebook. He was like, need a notebook. So, I'm thinking, okay, I need to get a notebook. Why would we bring a notebook? It's going to be important for everybody. Because year 15, when a rookie came in, that's hot, that's fiery, he all of that. When he came into that meeting room without a notebook, I knew I had 1 more year to play. What do you mean? I knew you're not, and I'm not capable of on Wednesday, when we begin to put the game plan in, to remember what Ray Rose or Andy Reid or my offensive or my defensive coordinator told me on Wednesday, that I was like my young man over here who was like this. The guys do that in the meetings. They fall asleep because you meet more than you're on the field. They fall asleep. It just don't mean enough to them. Guess what? It's Sunday at about 3:52. We down 3 points. It's third and 2. We need to convert. Guess what? You make the call. Guess who forgets to play? Guess who forgets the assignment? The guy that was sleeping meetings on Wednesday. Back to education. Back to taking notes. Back to being a student. That's what we call student athletes. The people who play long in the National Football League level, they're tremendous students of the game. That's why I said, I go back to the point that I made with my young son. Troy, he knows now, today, as a 6th grader, what I knew. I didn't learn it until my 2nd year in the pros. 2nd year in the pros. Another example. I remember Sean Taylor. Remember what happened to Sean? It was a shame. Senseless death. When Sean was a rookie, we have what we call the rookie symposium. God bless his dead, but I think it's important for you all to hit home. Sean gave us problems. I'm going to say we. The rookie symposium is a place where you come just like this. You learn about life and so on and so forth. He left. Undrafted. Ain't strapped up yet. Hadn't put on the NFL uniform yet. He left. I don't need this. Okay. First time. He came out as a junior, so he's a true junior in college. He came out early. Same thing with Pac-Man Jones. Pac-Man Jones had three marijuana offenses and 1 gun charge at the University of West Virginia. Okay, while he was at West Virginia. Remember now, what the National Football League does is, whatever you are in a profession, whatever you are 10 times that when you get to the NFL. If you was a pimp, you just became a super pub. Whatever you are, you're 10 times more than. Because now everything, you like to get high? Oh, you really get high now. Where before you had to go and get your little weed, now it comes to you. If you thought you were a gigolo taking advantage of women now, oh, it's off the chart. Back to Sean. Sean had a bunch of, Sean was in and out of, we would call trouble. Tremendous talent. My last year, I go to Washington. I've always watched him from afar, but now I had the opportunity to be right here in meeting rooms, playing on Sunday. Couldn't tell him nothing. You guys are in trouble when you see it. You go, man, if the guy if that switch would just hit. If he only understood what the possibilities are. No notebook? Oh wow, it's year 15. They said I'm on my last leg. Man, as long as he ain't bringing his notebook in, I'm gonna play again. But you see it, time again. So wherever you are now, whatever habits you're developing now, if they're not positive habits, they'll come back and they'll haunt you. When I got the call, it was early, like 6 or 7 o'clock that morning that Sean had got shot. It didn't surprise me. And it didn't surprise me because I know what I experienced when I sat next to him. I saw how he handled himself. I saw the crowd that he grew up with. And the papers had their spin. Change man by whose standards? God's standards or man's standards? Because they painted that picture where they wanted to in the paper. But those 53 guys in that locker room, they knew, and you know. You know what's right, and you know what's wrong. That stuff catches up with you. That was a senseless death at the age of 24. Somebody that you knew. Someone that came to your house, that was sitting there with you, eating with you, your sister and your mom. Guess what? He came back and he attacked your sister. It's a shame that we have to think that way. But it's real, man. It's real. Lastly, dreams. You gotta have dream deadlines. I love to dream, but there are dream deadlines. Your dream killers, those are people that you don't want in your life. Those are people who don't help you get that ultimate dream. But you gotta have dream deadlines. Well, what are dream deadlines? Dream deadlines are when you go to college, you didn't start in college, now you done left college, and you still trying to get to the NFL or the NBA. Man, you don't go out there and work. What you doing now with your time? Oh, I'm working out, man. I'm trying to get in the league. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Well, I want to do this. Bro, you don't control that. You control your education. Now, we start talking about being an educator. We start talking about being law enforcement, fireman, dentist, whatever. All that, control your own destiny. As it pertains to professional athletics, basketball, football, track, you don't control that. The other man controls that. So he tells you when you come and when you go. Men, don't chase a dream that's not even believable. I'm 26, I'm 27 years of age, and I'm still trying to get in the NFL. When I got the draft class that's 21, still living with your mom and daddy. Talking about you working out every day. Man, you need a real job. Go ahead and work. God didn't have that in your plans. For all you football players, there's 1,068,000 high school seniors to play high school football on a yearly basis in the United States. That's 1,068,000. 72,000 will play at the collegiate level of that 1,068,000. 73 will play at the collegiate level. 6,800 of the 73 will be scouted by NFL teams. 6,800. Of the 6,800, how many got drafted last week? 257. We started at where? How many got drafted? 257. Of the 257, 140 will play 3 or more years. To receive pension in the NFL, you have to play 4 seasons to be considered what we consider a vested veteran. 1,068,000, 73 playing in college, 68 being recruited, 250, 257 will be drafted. 140 of those 257 that are drafted will play for 3 or more years. Listen to the system. Young man, you got to play 4 years to get this health insurance. The odds are always against you. That's why you see so much turnover. It's a revolving door. New young talent. And for me to be up on this stage after 15 years, and the only 3 starts that I didn't have is because I didn't want to start. I was maybe ill and a little injured. You tell me that ain't grace. That's tremendous faith. But the faith is on all of our lives once we tap into our true purpose. Questions? Somebody got some questions. We're going to start over here. We can go back this way. We can go back this way. If you want me to elaborate on anything that I might have missed, please ask the question. Family questions, social questions, professional questions. Please, now is the time. Ask the questions. Play the movie.
How you doing, bro?
How you doing?
Well, what I want to talk to you about is, you can, like you were saying, you do a whole lot of things in life, you receive a whole lot of things in life. But really, when you all boil down to it, it's all about God.
Yes,
so will you elaborate about that? You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
You say you don't understand what I'm saying.
And he's absolutely right. Talk about all that has been accomplished, all that has been bought, all of the airplane flights, this place, that place, all of the different places, resorts that you've been to. I'm still searching for peace. Because the car, the boat, the house, and all those other things, I'm still searching for that inner peace. And it goes back to Mr. Moody's point. I can only find that peace and joy in one place. That's with the Father. Because His Word says He will never leave us nor forsake us. And you all know, friends let you down, family members let you down. You think that your best buddy's like, no way he would do that. Or your girl like, man, how could she do this to me? She broke my heart. Who do I lean on? Where do I go? At the end of the day, I just thank God for being the great I am. Without Him, I don't know where I would be. Without His Word and His truth, I don't know where I would be.
Yeah, my name is Antonio Swire. My question is, During your course of being in the NFL, what was the most difficult point in time in your life while you was going through this sports?
What was the most difficult time in my life while playing in the NFL? Probably the most difficult time was, and this still takes place, was really going against the stereotype. Because football never was my God. So I always treated it as work. It is work, and I treat it on a yearly basis. Because I wasn't promised the next season, even though I had maybe a 4 or 5 year contract. They're still year-to-year contracts. So football never was my God. I never was looking and reaching for football to sustain my life. But the challenges of the stereotypes of what people thought that I was or my teammate was. See, I was in position to fight for somebody who couldn't fight for themselves. You may have 5 or 6 guys per team that's in that position. That's your superstar, your big money guy. Well, I was that. So I was able to fight for the 45 who couldn't fight for themselves. But the 45 who couldn't fight for themselves, in most cases, weren't helping themselves. You can't come in here drunk. You can't test positive with your drug test. They're telling you it's going to be a drug test tomorrow. And you come in and you dirty. You telling me you don't care. So throughout my entire career, even into this day, I'm still fighting. Because what I'm saying is, that's a lie. He is great. And the reason why he's great is because he's God's child. I don't care what he said. I'm telling you what I'm saying. He is great. But why he's not there? Because right now he don't want to talk to you, so I'm talking to you for him. So that's the responsibility that you all have. Because there's going to come a point in your life where some of you already think this is taking place. You're going to fight for somebody who can't fight for themselves. That's a leader. That's standing up and being accountable. Taking care of your neighbor who can't take care of himself. So that's a constant battle. Still takes place today.
Mr. Troy, my name is Cornelius Dickens. I'm a student here at Halifax Community College. My question to you is, you strike me as a mentor, a real good, positive, strong mentor. And from my understanding, I think mentors need mentors. Who would be your mentors, so to speak?
Who will be mine? Great question. Great question. Great comment. All great leaders have once been led. If anybody tell you anything differently, they're lying and they're not a leader. All great leaders have once been led. What does that mean? Serving. The Bible talks about throughout the text about serving. When you talk about mentor, you're talking about serving somebody. Shut your mouth. Be still. Quick to listen, slow to speak. Grandfather was my first. And I was always one that hung out with older people. I watched older people. I watched how they talk. I watched how they walk. The songs they listen to. It may seem like they kind of, well, they old school. No, it's something that they got some foundation. They got some real principles and there's something behind what they're looking at. So Reggie White was a tremendous mentor of mine. Reggie on the field. There were some people. Mr. Dundella was my old high school coach. That was a tremendous resource in my life. He just passed away of cancer. But Reggie, many of you all have probably heard of Reggie, and what he used to always share with him and a gentleman by the name of Hardy Nickerson. Tremendous linebacker. Hard rock. We used to call him Hard rock. And Aeneas went tremendous men of God. Tremendous. And I'll let everybody tell you this, man. If somebody thinks, because you serve the living God, that you saw, man, listen, you take it as an opportunity, a full opportunity, when you have to knock their head off. Because God is a God of power. Ain't nothing soft about this. Nothing. Nothing. The greatest football players that ever played this game. A tremendous man of God. Chris Carter. You heard of Chris Carter, CC. Tremendous man of God. Reggie White. Let me tell you something. Wasn't nothing better. Tremendous man of God. LT, Strong Finger, Brian Dawkins. We call him Crazy Jungle, Weapon Man X. Extremely quiet. Doesn't say much. Sold out for the Father. Man knock you out and said, I swear for Jesus you won't get up. And walk away like that. That's enough. Like, yo, dog. Like this, God bless you, brother. Help you off the field, God bless you. Will knock you into tomorrow. Walking back up and said, you knock him out and said, I swear for Jesus he won't get up. But that's the kind of power that you got to possess. You got to walk in that authority. So those were men that lasted on Reggie's point. This is Reggie shared with me. I was in year 4. He said, Troy, whatever you do, leave the game. You must leave the game better than what you found it. You have to leave the game better than what you found it. No different than your community. Don't be successful and then never come back here. No, there's somebody here that needs a hand because there was somebody here that brought you here today that played a part in your life.
Good morning, Mr. Bishop. My name is Joel Williams. I'm a student here at ACC majoring in computer network and technology. You seem like a strong, good person who wouldn't let circumstances bring you down. So my question for you is, if it had not been for football, where do you think you would have been?
Okay, great question. If it had not been for football, where would I be? Well, I grew up wanting to be a correction officer. My mom was a correction officer. I just wanted to get to college to get back home. Because I was told if you go to college, there's a good chance that you can come back home and you can make better money than someone who does not have a college education. That was my mentality back in the 80s. I saw my mom taking care of 2 kids, grandpa, who worked for 47 years, the most he's ever made in 1 hour was $1.85. And you complain, talking about you're not going to work. I had no excuses. Took care of more people back then than I could take care of with the money I made and made less. That's principle. That's moral and value. And I can't complain we don't have an air conditioner. Cut the fan. So, I went to college to study urban regional planning because I wanted to get back to the city of Trenton and get into urban development. I wanted to get into urban development. First business was a dog kennel. I love dogs. It became a hobby, turned into a business. That was back in I got the lead in 1992, 93, started my first business. Little mom and pop shop down in Kendall, Florida. My wife started a hair salon. Back in 96. 96, I also started a firm in financial services and insurance company called Elton. Still have that today. We're in like 7 different cities. Again, every off season, I took the opportunity to go back and further my education. I never wanted to be fine at football. So today, the company still exists. Now my foundation trying to move it over to Northern Virginia. That's right now currently in New Jersey. So I have options. People ask me questions about transition. I'm sorry to get right to you. What do you do when you finish? The same thing I was doing when I played. So those when you see the horror stories about they don't know what to do. Guess what? The same opportunities that I had when I played are the same opportunities that every guy I played with had. Free education. The NFL plays for it. Counseling. NFL plays paid for it. And for your spouse. You get mentored out the blue, free. Somebody decided to go home and sit down on the couch and play Techno Bowl or Nintendo. I was back in school. So I had absolutely no remorse for a guy that I played with that said there wasn't nothing there for. That's a lie. Paul Tactical and Roger Goodell and Gene Upshaw, man, it's a silver carpet for these guys today. Whatever you need, with any kind of resource you need, it's there for you. You got to make the choice and the decision to do it.
On all the several successful ventures from what I read, what types of ventures do you own?
Today, my wife and all of them are successful. Huge mistake I made when I first got into business was hiring people that didn't know. You know, working with a friend or a family member because you just felt like you were obligated to them, and bringing on people alongside you, trying to take care of them, but really couldn't help you. I knew more than they knew. So I'm paying you and I'm teaching you. You can't do that. So my wife has a hair salon that's like 11 years old. That is up, a full hair, nail, and body spa. Insurance company and financial service company does extremely well. I have great people. We have great people that I work alongside. Those businesses are only successful because there are tremendous people that are driving, not me. It's a great team of people. So I have my financial services company and my foundation, which is the dearest to my heart. And most of the time, I'm dealing with people just like you. I travel all over the country. I get weekly calls, leadership talks. But this is my baby. This is my baby. Love talking to young men that look just like me, that come from an area just like I come from, that I can relate to, and they can relate to. Love it. Extremely passionate about it. He gave me an hour. Man, I could talk about this all day long. All day long. Never stop. Because guess what? Somebody here is my son. And I would hope that somebody would give the time and the energy to feed my son.
By you playing lead, what kind of advice do you give to athletes that haven't made it right now?
Commitment. You have to stay committed. You are what you're committed to. That's what you become. You must remain committed. Focus. Focus like no other. When I say focus, I mean nothing else matters but your family, school, and that sport that you're playing. That goes back to when you ask that question, I deal with that with my son on a daily basis. Okay, what do you want? I want to play at the University of Miami. My son will play at the University of Miami. Why? First of all, we're speaking that into existence. Where before, no, what do you want? That's what you want, we're going to go get it. Now, these are the things that we have to do to get there. Ask the question every day. 6:45 when I call. Don't forget, what are you going to do today to get you closer to that dream? I heard that a little bit earlier. What did you do today? So at 9:30 at night, when the night's wrapping up, Troy, yes, Dad, he's thinking about time to go walk the dog again, do something, go get your sister. What you do today? Well, I did 15 push-ups. Okay, you take that. The physical fitness part is good. Education is crucial. When I look at the modern day athlete today, the kid that's in middle school and high school, because kids are being tracked earlier now than ever before with all the AAU stuff and the camps, I didn't have that when I grew up. In the 80s, that's just in the 80s. Never heard about a football clinic. It was a parking lot. And you played against other streets. But to have someone actually, a professional, come and show me a skill set. I learned how to backpedal on campus, on college. But the education is so important. Now that they have the SATs and the GPAs, where if your SAT score is lower, your GPA has to be higher. Knowing what those core courses that you need to get into college, and making sure that your high school offers those courses. I'm starting to hear the word track. Track. And as a parent, make sure that nobody puts your child or you on the wrong track. That's from the educational system. I go back to Troy. Troy, how many AP courses you got? 3. When I met with his dean and his 4 other teachers, when I asked him, when he came back for his recommendation for next year, he wanted to drop 1. They recommended 3 more. Okay, I don't like what I'm hearing here. Because somebody feels better about him than he feels about himself. Ask the question in front of all of the teachers. And when we go with 2 parents. And as a men, guess what? In most cases, they're not used to me coming in there. When I say me, the father. They're not used to you coming in there with the father. Guess what? Honey, you stay home today. I got the parent-teacher conference. Tell me about the boy. So, the education is important. His response to why he didn't want the other three, because he said that means he has to do more homework. Okay. More homework, and you really don't want to go to the University of Miami. See, we got to have our education done before we're juniors. SATs, men, don't be afraid of it. Take them. Take the PSATs, take them, don't be afraid of it. A lot of times we don't do well in these things because we're afraid of it. God is not a God of fear. So education is important. Track yourself to school, education. And because other kids are now, as you look out from state to state, are getting what they call advanced training, skill-specific training, if you can get to camps, so that when you get to places, you may be more athletic than a kid, but if a kid is more fundamentally sound and knows the game better, he's actually ahead of it. Talk to my son every day. Going back almost 7 years. I'm going to give this to you. This is a seed. I don't usually tell everybody this because this is his edge. How do you defeat an athlete? Because in here, based on the population I'm looking at, people are going to target you all as great athletes. Because that's part of the stereotype. Well, how do you beat an athlete? Let me just ask two people to answer that question. Anybody. How do you beat an athlete? There you go. I heard somebody say, I'll think it. Troy, we're in Trenton, New Jersey. Ruffalo area called Little Beirut. Nothing but athletes. He's like this for the first time. Like, man, everybody fast like me. Okay? And got in the car that night when he calmed down and said, the way you defeat an athlete is you make him think. Yeah. You make an athlete think, the guy that was like this, he now becomes like this. And now you slow his body down because he's thinking. See, when you're an athlete, you do things naturally. But when I make you think, I slow your brain tells your body to slow down because now rather than me reacting, I got to think about what I need to do. Goes back to education. Goes right back to what Don Shula said. When this thing is only going to take you because your athletic ability, we'll let you get away with it for 2 years. See, after 2 years, the way they scout you, they know your strengths, your weaknesses. Just like when I evaluate you. Okay, got tight hips. Don't turn well. Don't have good ball, hand-eye coordination. So now, the way they work at the next level is, I'll run every play to your weakness. Also, what I stress to Troy, again, I'll stress to you, work on your weakness. As athletes, we like to emphasize our strengths because it's easy to us. It feels good to us. Basketball players, if you're right-handed, work on your left hand. Football players, if there's certain things that you don't do, if you don't do things well, that's what you need to work on. For 15 years of my career, I always worked at practice on what we would call off technique. That's playing off of the wide receiver. Because I was known as a presser. I played right here, old-fashioned, right here. I wanted to touch you, feel you. So when I got space in between where the wide receiver was and where I'm at, because it was unfamiliar territory, I wasn't as successful when I was here because you couldn't outrun me. I was bigger and faster and stronger than you. So if I'm right here, you couldn't even get off the line, and I can run with you downfield. But when I gave you space, now I was guessing. So I worked on that every single day. Every time a little young rookie or second or third year player would practice the whistle blew, and y'all running to get back home to nothing, or to get back to that locker room to get out of there, somebody got to stay after practice. And I used to watch it. They wanted, and guess what? They didn't even know how to come ask for help. I'm an all-pro. And I'm working on this stuff that's elementary, and you over there in that corner, drinking Gatorade. If you don't get your butt over here, let me explain to you what I'm doing and what I'm working on. Work on those things that you're not good at. Next question.
Yes, you seem to be very family-oriented and as well as African. How did you juggle the two with your career today?
That was, It was a challenge, but I knew my family was all I had. Again, football becomes people's family. Divorce rate, 90% divorce rate after 1 year of retirement. That's just for the National Football League. You heard what I just said? 90. Not even 12 months after you finish playing. 1 year, done. Why? Because you never knew the individual you married. It's all about relationships. For me to have success in that question, I put time in it. It was time, it was balance. So, for me to come here and share with you all the things that I've shared, and me not do that at home, come on, hypocrite, liar. No, I can get off this stage, and if Troy was here or my daughter Desiree was here, they would say exactly what I just said on every subject. But family was crucial to me. Because after the Dallas Cowboys just beat our back in, or the Arizona Cardinals just beat our back in, when I got in that minivan, yeah, I drive a minivan because I got a bunch of kids. So when I got in that minivan, all they wanted to watch was Shrek. You understand what I'm saying? So if you're back to reality, when that lights shut off and you've taken your shower, when you start walking, I call it the walk of shame. You just got your back beat in, and now you got to get to the parking lot. Where on the win, I want everybody to talk to me. Bring my sharpness, autographs, and everything. When you lose, it's like this. So you're running to get to the car. But every time when I got in that car with my family, my boys could care less whether I won or lost. It was like, why did the game have to go into overtime? We supposed to watch Shrek. Why don't we cut Shrek off on the way in? And it just sends you right back home. They can care less. Their daddy's back. It's now time to watch Shrek. Now it's Alvin and the Chipmunks. That's real. They can care less of what daddy did, what he was thinking. I can care less. Yeah, we're going to watch a movie tonight. So family became crucial. My wife, best friend. I'm going to wrap it up.
Reggie, the question I want to ask you is, I have 3 sons, and one of my sons went to school with Tabbucky Jones, from elementary school right through high school. And Tabbucky went on to go to Syracuse. And my son, he chose to go to a semi-pro league. And he made a mistake. I tried not to get him to go. And he never did go any further because he got hurt out there. And he had to be a truck driver. So I'm here, I have a son over here from the Northwest, and he's into sports. Can you give him some advice on attitude and discipline?
Well, everything starts with an attitude. We all gonna wake up. The attitude is whether I'm gonna have a good day or a bad day. But you can speak that with discipline. When you get up, don't take your little bad attitude, what happened to you at home, either last night or that morning, to school or to work. A couple things I heard when you said they talk about semi-pro. Again, it goes right back to dream deadlines. Let me tell you something. Unless you just love the game, like you just have to play, you might as well play a double flag. But to think that you're going to play semi-pro and that's going to help you get to the pro level, you're wasting your time. It's a waste of time. And as a father, you got to be honest with it. Now, whether I want to accept that the truth or not, that's going to be on me. But semi-pro, nothing I'm telling you now, that's just recreation. You're not going to play semi-pro ball and then come to the National Football League. Too much young talent. Too much young talent on these college campuses. Too much young talent. What I will tell this young brother is, always keep a positive attitude. Your attitude will result in your work ethics. Your attitude will carry you where you need to go. So, as a young brother watching that, I would use those things with what Big Brother didn't do, perhaps to motivate you. That comes from being a good watcher, a good student. You watch and you learn. You learn from other people's accomplishments as well as you learn from other people's mistakes. So I would say you got to stay focused. That's back to commitment and focus. discipline. The best players are disciplined. The teachers, discipline. You can't be a jack of all trades. Well, I want to thank everyone for listening. Thank you for the questions.
All right, we can do better